Welcome to Windows Information Protection. Windows Information Protection is a policy that IT admins can deploy to help protect enterprise data from being accidentally copied to the wrong place. Let's look at how Windows Information Protection can help protect data. John is a busy professional trying to get some work done from home. He needs to update a PowerPoint presentation with the latest sales figures, so he saves an Excel file from Outlook on the desktop. The spreadsheet is tagged as a work document, shown here by the briefcase. He opens the spreadsheet and copies the latest sales numbers. Then he goes to OneDrive to open his presentation, which is also tagged as a work document by the briefcase and file ownership. He saves the updated presentation with a new name. PowerPoint is aware this is a work document and keeps the protection. While editing the presentation, he sees an email from another parent reminding him to add the pizza budget to the PTA newsletter. He highlights the pizza budget but gets interrupted before he can copy it. When he returns, he sees the pizza budget is highlighted and creates a personal Word document for the school. When he tries to paste into the newsletter, a warning says that the action will add work content to a personal document. He realizes that he forgot to copy the pizza budget and still has the sales figures on the clipboard. From the email, he copies the pizza budget and pastes it into the PTA newsletter. The warning helps John avoid a potential mistake. Windows Information Protection helps John prevent accidental leaks and keeps his work documents secure by automatically protecting the content. To learn more about what Windows Information Protection can do for you, see aka.ms/WIP docs.
So good morning, everyone. I'm actually surprised that there's only more than 3 people here on a Friday morning. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope you've had a really great Ignite so far, learned a lot, and we'll be able to take that home and be more successful. Those of you who are playing the Microsoft mission statement bingo may check off the right-hand box. Out of curiosity, how many people have heard me speak about Windows Information Protection before? There's a few of you. Okay, I apologize in advance. The jokes are no funnier the second time. Wow, you're a cold room. Is everyone really hungover? Wow. Okay. So I'm going to cover the who, what, when, where, why, and how of Windows Information Protection. Not quite in that order, but pretty close. My name is Derek Adam, and I'm a senior program manager in Windows, and I work on endpoint protection technologies. One of them, obviously, is Windows Information Protection. The reason you're here, #MAM on Windows. I think we'll start with who, and I'm going to do this in a strange way. I'm going to introduce you to you. I think about the enterprise customer a lot, and there's a couple of personas that we think about. The first one, of course, being the IT admin. I know that you guys have a really tough job, actually. Not the least of which because most of the time the people that you are serving don't understand what you do, how you do it, or more importantly, why. So as a misunderstood character, I'm going to compare you to another misunderstood character. Oh, it got awkward for a moment there, didn't it? Yeah. Well, okay, so mixed feelings here, right? If you think about it, it's not all bad, right? The people he serves want more of what he's got. They ascribe near magical powers to him. But if you felt a little uncomfortable, it might have been because he's a little off-center. Maybe he's crazy. Crazy? Why is he crazy? He wants absolutely everything locked down in his domain. Nothing is ever supposed to leave the domain. And you have all these rules and procedures to keep it that way. But he's wild about the eyes because he knows that things are still leaving. You know it. He knows it. Mr. Slugworth knows it. I submit to you that if you are also going crazy, it's because your users are making you crazy. Here are some crazy numbers from real life. This is from a survey a few years ago, but I think it's still meaningful because it's about human nature. 87% this was a survey of senior managers, so VP and up, said that they regularly uploaded work files to personal cloud or personal email. And more than half had admitted in writing that they had accidentally said something sensitive to someone that they really should not have. And there are real dollar costs associated with those breaches. So what do you need? You need your users to be able to respect the stewardship of data that you might give them, not reveal company secrets, and respect your boundaries, your terms of use. So you're not the only enterprise customer I think about. There's also your user, the information worker. I've started a theme. Can anyone, okay, no spoilers for people who have seen this before. Can anyone take a guess about who this might be in my theme that I started? Go ahead and shout it out. Oh, this is probably the best. The children. That's pretty good, actually, because it's just the people in the story. People like you and me. And what do we want? We just want our stuff. We want access to our personal files. We want as little management as possible. And if there's going to be a DLP solution, it really should recognize that we make mistakes. We're all human. It happens to the best of us. I'll give you a few examples. About this time last year, Statoil, this is the Norwegian energy company, had a massive breach. Tons of PII was available, searchable on the web. And this happened because some people just wanted to get their job done. They uploaded things they needed translated to a free translation service. And free meant that they were going to be using some help on Google. So now things like contracts, dismissal letters, reductions in force, passwords, code, this is really sensitive stuff. Okay, you might say, well, Derek, you're cherry picking. Okay, well, let me take another one. Heathrow Airport. Some member of the public found a USB stick that had megabytes upon megabytes of data about the Heathrow Airport. Things like, this is where the Queen needs to go, and these are the credentials that you need in order to escort her. The secret passages for getting ministers to and fro. This was considered a national security risk, and it happened because they didn't encrypt the files. Okay, I like to keep this fresh, so I went looking for things this year, and I didn't find a thing. I found lots of things, and rather than just pick on one company, I just went for an industry. Healthcare. Healthcare should protect your data, right? Well, the most frequent cause of breach in healthcare last quarter was human error. Oh, by the way, it was also the same highest cause the quarter before that, and the quarter before that, and the quarter before that, and the quarter before that. And each of those quarters were higher than the last quarter. You can go and look this up, at least for the last year. So this is a risk that you need to prioritize. The risk is actually greater for access within, and it's usually accidental. This is something you need to worry about not just on your mobile devices. This is also about laptops and desktops, because where do you have the most access to work data to potentially leak it? There you go. To try to get this idea across to people, my marketing team a couple of years ago put together kind of a Super Bowl ad style thing. It's not on brand, so I'm going to just apologize up front to the marketing people who are saying, don't play that because it doesn't have the new brand. This was when it was still called Enterprise Data Protection. I hope that I'll be able to work with the marketing team to get this on brand, but it's just so good I had to share it. Have a look.
Most data leaks, well, they're not really intentional. I manage IT for Rela Cloud's marketing org, which is 450 seats. Like any place around, people just can make mistakes. They try to upload confidential documents onto personal cloud storage.
We're on mute, right? Yeah, I think so.
What I would like to say is that is the stupidest idea I have ever heard.
Hello?
And copy and paste business information that's really confidential onto the non-corporate sites. We needed a solution that could tell the difference between the personal documents and those really critical business documents that need to be protected. Because a lot of people around here, they don't think. Microsoft's enterprise data protection. I do sleep a little better, just a little.
Wow, right? That's what you have to defend against. You have a lot of protection needs, I know it, and it's not just one technology that will give it to you. We understand that. So I want to put Windows Information Protection in context. Where is it with all of the other things that we do to help prevent data leak? So on the one end, you've got device protection, you've also got data separation, leak protection, and you do occasionally need to restrict your sharing, so you are sharing, but in a specifically restrained way. On the one end, we have BitLocker. This is for the case where the mistake that was made is that they literally just lost their laptop. Okay. And on the other end of the spectrum, we've got sharing protection. And this is where the user's present thinking very carefully about security. And they want to limit who it is that they're sharing to. They may want to set extra policies that apply within the document, or et cetera. And for that, we have Azure Information Protection. We also have Office Information Protection that helps protect against leaks through, say, email. That's where you get that gold bar that says you're sending this outside of the company. But then that leaves most of the time, most of the data, people are just doing their job, not thinking carefully about security, and that is where Windows Information Protection fills a gap. So we can separate out work data from personal data. We do this with encryption, and we protect it at rest locally and on removable media. We can prevent unauthorized apps from accessing that data, and giving a common experience across the whole thing. So you don't have to feel like you're jumping into a little container. You just use Windows the way you always have, giving a seamless integration across any app. And this has actually been available since Windows 10 Anniversary Edition, so 1607. All of you should already have it. Now, this is where it gets a little sketchy. You probably noticed I was making some changes here at the beginning. This demo is something I set up literally in the first 10 minutes of this hour. So wish me luck. I may as well just show you how it works. OK, so this starts off with policy. There's a number of ways that you can get policy. The way that I'm going to show you here is on an MDM managed device. So this is like the BYOD scenario. I've also done this with an Azure joined machine and a domain joined machine. So regardless of how you're getting policy, once we give you policy, this is when we start using context to protect that data. One of those places that you get work data from is, say, OneDrive for Business. And you can see right now, all of these files are getting protected based on the fact that this is an account that's work, and this is an account that is not. You shouldn't be applying policy to my personal data, and that includes you shouldn't be wiping it. Turns out Dropbox does the same thing. They protect data on download in the work account, but not in a personal account. These applications partner to guard that boundary for you, right? And for example, if I try to share a document, I'm going to share it into my OneDrive for Business. Oh, actually, no, I dropped it onto my OneDrive personal. Oh, okay, I don't really want to be audited for doing something like that, so I'll cancel that out. Another way that data might leak off of this machine is, say I could put it into a USB stick. And let me choose something to drop into this USB stick. So I have a couple of options here. My policy is to allow overrides. It makes for a better demo. I can show more things. But I'm going to copy this as a work document, and this is where I'm going to go for some audience participation. Can I have someone who has a laptop in the front row and is not a Microsoft employee? Maybe you? OK. Try to open up this file. All right. Yeah, back in your seat. Actually, while he's doing that, why don't I go and start showing you something else? I'm doing the Martha Stewart thing here. While that simmers, we'll go on to something else. There's another place that we get data, and that's through a browser. And here I have, this is literally my work OneDrive for Business dialed in. And if I download a document from there, because this is a managed site, you see this briefcase over here, when I save it and open it, you see it's automatically protected. But I could just as easily have gone to OneDrive Personal, download a document from there, and it would not be protected. Looks like I'm having some network difficulties, so I'll just pick it up from a different location. I've got my OneDrive here. So I can open up something like this cookie recipe, and I can open it in any application, right? I could open it with something that only opens personal files, right? Let me try WordPad. No problem. But if I tried to open up that secret document that I downloaded, let me pull that up, my downloads, and I try to open that with WordPad, let's find out. Ooh, access denied. That's because we restrict which applications your work data can be accessed with. And this actually helps for, say, third-party sync engines. Let's say that I hadn't put Dropbox on my list, then it would literally not be able to open this file. If I want to open up this secret formula, I'm going to have to use a work application, and that's going to be Word. Opens work and personal files. There it is, my secret formula for success. And you can see, like, I could get a pretty busy desktop here. I've got like 4 or 5 windows, and it could be that I want to copy some of this data. What if I want to copy it into that report from my weekly report to my boss or something like that? That wasn't actually a work document. We can detect this boundary and protect the data from being accidentally leaked that way as well. There's actually, so I've talked about context in a couple of different ways. One is by account through these enlightened applications, like say Outlook. Outlook, if I tried to take this, this is dialed into my work account, and I tried to take this and put it into my personal Hotmail account, say, for example, it also guards the boundary. But we've actually added another way of detecting work data. You might have seen in some of the keynotes that we have something called this Microsoft Information Protection Initiative, where we can label Office documents and PDFs and that sort of thing to indicate that they're work. We also have done an integration with them so you can indicate that a label is, oh, thank you. Were you able to open it?
No, didn't matter.
No? No open for you. There you go. Oh, come on. Round of applause for our... All right, so I have my personal Hotmail account. My friend Mike, we're friends outside of work. And so he has both of my email addresses. He was maybe labeling a document on his Word on Microsoft Word on a Macintosh, and he's sending me an email. And he has both of my email addresses. He ends up sending it to me at what is my personal email, right? This doesn't have a managed symbol on it. When I download this confidential document and save it, Windows Defender ATP is actually scanning files for viruses and whatnot. It can also scan it to see if it's got a label on it. And if it does, it will automatically protect that data. OK, come on. That's pretty good, right? It's new, at least. It's new. I'm going to see if I managed to download Power BI in the background while we were doing this. Oh, miracle of miracles, it did. What I want to show you now is another context, and that is an unenlightened application. Unenlightened applications are, well, OK, this might take a while, so I'm going to skip it. I also have some slides to talk about this point, so I'll just move on. I want to leave enough time for you to have your questions. So if you're keeping track at home, we've talked about who, we've talked about why, and we've talked a little bit about what. Here's a little bit more. So there's this idea of you've got personal applications, there's this one experience you're used to in Windows, and there's things that just don't need to have access to work data, right? Your social media applications, maybe utilities like the weather application or your games. Those are all of your unmanaged applications. And at the other end, we've got managed applications, things that only handle work data. The data is isolated. It's kept encrypted at rest. You control the keys. And it's manageable through MDM, even for MAM, which by that I mean without enrollment. We block and audit the exchange of data between these two things. I showed you overrides, but there's another enforcement level that we call hide overrides. It's exposed in Intune as block, just for simplicity's sake, so people get the idea. By now, you've probably noticed, though, that I left a little gap in the middle. That's not a gap. That's the list of applications that are actually standing on the boundary between those two worlds. They are handling both kinds of content and keeping them safe and secure even from each other. I'm going to spend another couple of minutes on this because this is the space that I get the most questions on. There are a ton of applications that are enlightened. You saw some of them. Here's a bunch more. These are the first-party applications. So you have Office, you've got browsers, you've got utility applications in Windows so you can view content. There's also unenlightened applications. And this is where the questions usually arise. How do I manage this? There's two options. One option is allow it. When you allow the application and it's not enlightened, we put baby in a corner. Everything that it writes to disk, every file that it modifies becomes work data. So caution. If that's going to touch personal data, you could be invading their space. It might not be a good idea. This is really meant for line of business applications, things like Power BI or maybe your HR application, internal finance apps, that sort of thing. And this is something you can do on a fully managed device with MDM policy. The other option is you can exempt it. And by that we mean, essentially for that application, WIP policy doesn't apply. We don't auto-encrypt it. We don't apply any copy-paste restrictions. But you do get access to your work and personal data without impacting the experience. And if you're using some of these other ways to protect your data, it's still at least being protected and usable. And you're going to get the value out of Office and all of these other applications protecting data between them. 80% of your data is going to be in Office. Another 10% is in PDFs that you can read in Edge. So go ahead and get the value as quickly as you can. There is, of course, a third option. Really, that third option is go and enlighten the application. If you own an application as an ISV, or maybe you have an internal IT department that develops applications, and you want to be able to have that used on a man-managed device, there's a fairly easy way to do that. You can declare it as safe for auto-encryption and recompile the application. If you want to have that good experience of handling work and personal data, I direct you here to our dev guide. And if you have difficulties, you can go ahead and reach out to the development assistants that we have at Microsoft. It may even eventually get to me. Protection across data flows is probably what you're most interested in. I've talked about this a little bit already, but the idea is policy comes down, we provision keys on the device, and then that data coming from your corporation, whether it's a corporate cloud or from your local area network, it's automatically protected. Apps can also automatically protect data if they're an unenlightened app, or they're an app that knows that this is coming from a work location, and it's maintained anywhere, as you just saw. I'm going to go on a limb. Selectively wiping corporate data on demand. Who would like to see me actually wipe this machine? OK. I have not rehearsed this, so wish me luck. This is 7. So it's as simple as on the client machine, you can do this on either side, right? If you are, if you're managing it in Intune, what you do is you retire the device. That does a selective wipe. But if the user themselves goes ahead and disconnects the device, okay, first we're going to warn you, we're going to remove some stuff. Is that okay with you? All right, I will go ahead and do that thing. Ah, Outlook's gone. Let's go ahead and see what happened to Outlook. I've never done this on stage before, by the way. And my boss is going to be super mad at me because now I don't have access to all my work data. Oh, because I closed it hard. Go ahead and open it. What I'm checking now is to see, did I even have my work account? Nope, it's gone. All I've got is my Hotmail. So there you go. You actually have a selective wipe experience on full Windows. Come on, that was dangerous. Give me some applause. You're killing me, people. All right. So a lot of questions that I get also are about where does Windows Information Protection and Azure Information work together? We have a lot of things that are branded with information protection in their title. We know that, and we've started working together, and just to call it a Microsoft Information Protection Initiative. Back in the day, when we first launched Windows Information Protection, these were side-by-side technologies. WIP gave you that context-aware protection. You didn't have to take an action. It was built into the action you were taking already, downloading the data, using a work-only application. I didn't show this before, but the clipboard experience between two work applications in a work context is seamless. You don't see those pop-ups that I was showing you. They only show up when you're crossing the boundary. The protected sharing story is really keep it in the family. You can upload that to SharePoint Online. If it's my SharePoint Online, you can put that on my file servers, but you can't send it anywhere else. That's how you're going to share the data. The data will end up leaving the machine in the clear, but it will not be going to a place it shouldn't. Azure Information Protection, on the other hand, gives more granular policies than Windows Information Protection. Usually it has some smarts within the application. Like if you've ever sent a do not forward email, that's AIP at work. You may be familiar with this as the Azure RMS technology, but AIP builds on that to include labels. It does require a user action, though, and that's probably one of the main differences. These were side-by-side technologies. different keys, but complementary scenarios. Then we did our first integration in 1703, also known as the Creators Update. This is when we added that RMS key being used to protect files when they roam. Like I said before, Azure Information Protection is the protected roaming data scenario. And so we removed one of those seams in our story. You auth to the Azure RMS server, and on a Creators Update or later machine, you just get access to your data. It's actually very easy to set up. I'll show it a little bit later. You have a tenant-wide user access by default, but if you want, you can also apply an RMS template. That can enable you to scope it down to a smaller group. Say you want to have a special policy for your senior leadership team, or you can broaden it and say, I want to have a business-to-business relationship, and anyone at these 2 companies can do it. What you need to get this going is you need to check a box, basically. You need to have an E3 license in Intune, and that's it. And of course, you need the Creators Update, which most of you should already have. If you haven't rolled it out yet, why not skip to 1809? Speaking of 1809, what have we done for you lately, right? We did another integration with AIP, MIP labels. What you get is that whenever you create or modify or download a file that has that label, it's automatically set and protected. I didn't show you that, did I? Oh, well, too late. I wiped my device. What you need is M365, protection.microsoft.com. Go to the Security and Compliance Center, and you need Windows 1809 with WDATP, Windows Defender Advanced Threat Protection. That's the thing that's scanning files for malware, and that now can be scanning for labels in your Office and PDF files. In fact, why don't I show you how that's set up? OK, unintentionally, this is also a Windows Hello demo. All right. So you start off here in protection.office.com. I'm currently being redirected there. And it's as simple as this. You go to Classifications, choose Labels. You look at your sensitivity labels. Go erase those dots. Say I want all of my confidential data to be automatically marked with WIP. I'd go into the Data Loss Prevention section, edit that, and it's one click. Save it. That's it. I just configured WIP for labels. OK, it wasn't that exciting, but it was fast. Going forward, I can't really talk about future plans, but I can talk about ideas. We want this to work together. We're going to see more integrations in these technologies. We want AIP to benefit Windows Defender ATP to benefit WIP and vice versa. So here are a few ideas I've been throwing around with my partners. One is that WDATP could use WIP for a number of things. Auditing. Good idea to know when data is leaking, right? And then maybe if you see something being leaked and that kind of triggers it, like, sure, I send you your W-2 to your work email, and yeah, you're going to have to decrypt that to send it to your accountant or something like that. But if you're doing this to 1,000 files, maybe I want to put a stop to that. In fact, maybe they will put a stop to that and halt exfiltration. Maybe. I don't know if there's even a timeline for this, but you can see that these things can come together. We could have more client classification. We could have more labeling. We could have WIP and AIP protection being an outcome, not just one. WIP could maybe trigger AIP sharing scenarios. The long and the short of it is that we recognize that asking the user to do more thinking is actually taking away from their energy to do their job. And you don't get any security benefit when they make a mistake. So we want more data to be protected automatically. OK. Is there anything else? Yes, ma'am. I told you the joke's not no better. Without enrollment is what we mean. So MAM without enrollment limits the policy scope. You can get MAM policy delivered through MDM on my Azure Active Directory joined machine, my domain joined machine, what have you. But if you want to do this on a personal device, they kind of don't appreciate it if you have the ability to go and nuke it and do a factory reset. So with a without enrollment policy, you can't do that. But you still have control over some of your data. And WIP is the app management part of MAM. One caveat here is that only your enlightened applications can be managed on a MAM-only device. That's because we don't want to have any risk of messing up the user experience. On a fully managed machine, sure. You want to go ahead and tag everything as work, and you tell them up front, this is my device, my policy, all my data. OK, but you can't do that to their personal device. So unenlightened apps aren't allowed. Maybe you want it to be. Maybe you have a line of business app that you want to enable. You can mark it. That's the asterisk in the enlightened. Tag it as safe for auto encryption, and then they will still be able to use it. It requires AAD integration, but the good thing is it's available on Home and Enterprise and Pro, so you can actually have real MAM on any device that's a desktop with Windows 10 1703. If you're very interested in MAM in general, and maybe you are because you're here on a Friday morning, there's a great talk that you missed yesterday from my good friend Matt, BRK3011. You go ahead and stream it after this. What else have we done? We made it a little easier for you to get your policy right. One of the big points of angst was not knowing what apps are actually being used for work. This kind of surprised us. But no, really, you don't know, and you have good reasons not to know. Maybe you're spread across lots of geolocations. So we gave a way to detect unknown applications accessing work data. Intune will store that data for a couple of weeks for you. That's just because you have Intune. If you have Azure Log Analytics, it used to also be known as Operational Management Suite. They can store it for up to a year, depending on what your subscription level is. This works in all enforcement levels, right? So it's not just in the so-called audit mode. You probably need to know this even when you're fully deployed. The people who do MAM management might not be the same people who deploy applications. And so when they go and do that, if you haven't talked, you've at least got another channel to discover that application, giving you confidence in your deployment. So you know when you're complete. You can actually go and turn it on and then detect changes. Let me give you a demo of how you can use this WIP learning. Oh, this is fun. I might not be able to do this for you folks. Wish me luck. In fact, I can't. All right. There's a great Ignite demo that I did last year, and you can go look it up on Channel 9. All right. I'll just go to the slides that follow it. How about that? So it looks like this. You go into the device health section of your OMS or Azure Log Analytics, and you see that there's a blade here for WIP app learning. If you drill into that, you can find the information that you need to copy into your Intune app list, and away you go. And over time, you'll be able to see that the reports of those not being in your policy will go down, and you'll be able to turn it on. Still more. Automatic recovery. Your end users are not the only ones who make mistakes. If you click the wrong thing and revoke the wrong device, that could lead to a lot of time loss. The fix is in for 1709. We back up a key to the user's account so that when they re-enroll, like I'm going to have to do after this talk, I get access to all my data again. There's a number of things that our partners have done. Obviously, Office 365 Pro Plus supports WIP. Intune has made a number of enhancements over the last year, supporting the MAM without enrollment, giving a one-click experience for adding recommended applications, which I'll show you in a minute. And now I'm going to break it down for what has which support. So it's System Center Configuration Manager. If you need at least 1706 to get that USB roaming setting. That's when they added the RMS support. With 1802, we now support WIP co-management. And now with 1809, we have Office MIP label support. And let's see, we did who, we did why, we did what. Let's talk about how. So here I am in Intune, and actually, why don't I just start from the beginning so you can see how I got here. Within Intune, there's the client app protection section, if my dots will finish racing. We set up our app protection policies. Again, this is the same. If you've already set this up for iOS or Android, this will look very familiar. Let's go ahead and add a policy. I'm going to set my watch and see how quick I can do this. All right, stopwatch started. Ignite demo. So choose my platform. I want Windows 10. I have choices here. I could do without enrollment. That's the MAM-only experience. Or I can do with enrollment. Say I'm doing it for an on-prem. And then I choose my protected applications. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add applications. And here's my recommended apps one-click option. Boom. And I get all of the things that I showed you on that splat screen before, including Office 365. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Validated. Cool. So now I've got a set of applications that I'm going to manage. I could exempt some. I'm not going to. I'll skip that. And let's go to the required settings as soon as I save off my list of applications. There's not very much beyond an app list that's actually, strictly speaking, required. I need to set a policy. I'm going to say silent for now. Maybe I'm feeling a little timid and I just want to roll out quickly. I need a corporate identity. And then I see, what's this say? So if I have any additional domains, I need to add them under the network perimeter. OK. That's very handy. Let me go to that. Advanced configuration. Oh, that's interesting. Cloud resources have already been pre-populated. Look at that. Intune searches the graph, detects all of the SharePoint Online sites for you, and automatically adds them to your policy, so you don't have to think about that. But I came in here to go and add the other domains that I have protected identities for. So this is my identity domains. I'll add contoso.com because I have email that comes in for Contoso. And let's say that I also have a company that I've bought. Say it was Fabricam.com. Maybe you have more. I know that a lot of insurance companies end up having a very long list of subs. That might take you longer, but for most companies, it's pretty quick. Let's see what else I have to do. Now, if I were just doing a cloud-only experience, I might be done now, and that only took me, even with the dawdling at the beginning, under 3 minutes. But let's say that I want to do this for an on-prem experience, and I want to actually set up my network perimeter. Here's a pro tip. There's a guy who's already done this. He's the guy who's in networking and set up your VPN configuration. He's already defined the corporate boundary for you. So first, I'm going to set the DNS names that are internal. This is going to be the thing that, you have the default configuration suffix when you go ipconfig / status. You want those to be in here. So let's say when I'm on corp at Contoso, I get this domain, and maybe when I'm on the Fabricam network, I'm internal.fabricam.com. All right. Now, I'm not really done. I need to also define the IP address ranges that should be associated with that. So let me go ahead and do that. IPv4, LAN, and I'll just take this since we're doing it as an example. Now, you might notice here, if you are a networking person, that this includes a private domain range, right? 192.168, blah, blah. You probably have a router at home that's serving up addresses like that. Why is it that I do that? Well, it is safe because we only consider it work if it has an IP address in your range and that IP address is bound to one of your domain names. So when you're on a 192 thing at work and it's bound to corp.contoso.com, it's work. But when you're at home and you're on Comcast or Cox Network or whatever, that's not a work location. I could do the same thing for IPv6, but you get the idea. Let's see, is there anything else I need to do? My proxy servers. Proxy servers indicate things that are leaving your network. So you can leave that range there, and then that's basically the hole in your network. I'll say I've got a proxy. I could do this with IP address, or I could do it by name. If there's this is a trick we've used in a couple of instances. Because this indicates that that's personal, if within your corporate network there's some place that you want to send, I don't know, cat pictures or something like that, it's really strictly for personal use, you could list it as one of your proxies, and then it would not be considered work data. Neutral resources. This deserves a moment to explain. So when you are in your browser and you need to redirect to an identity provider, if that identity provider could be used for work or personal, so for example, the secure token server from Microsoft can serve up a Microsoft account, or it could serve up an Azure Active Directory account token for you. In the middle of that redirect, you don't want the context to change, right? You're going to be going to a work site, it redirects you to the identity provider, which redirects you back to the work site. If that changed to personal, that would be problematic, right? So we created this notion of a neutral resource. And I talked long enough that Intune decided that I had gone away. While it's thinking, let me think. You know what, I'm just going to walk through one of the other examples so you don't have to wait through me copying and pasting all of that stuff over again. In fact, I could just use one of these MAM examples. And there's the protected apps list, there's the exempt list, there's the required settings. Oh, look, the UI just changed while we were sitting here. That's how fast we deploy. There's the advanced settings, and I went through all the network stuff. If you're doing a MAM setting, we also do this kind of in a one-stop shop thing where we include all of this information about how you'll access it, setting pins and whatnot. You can accept the defaults there. You can also, it's safe to choose the defaults here. So IP, what is this called? Enterprise Proxy Servers list is authoritative. What that means is say, don't consider anything else as a proxy even if you detect it. I'd much rather that you detect a proxy that gets added to the local segment as external. So leave that in the off position. Enterprise IP ranges is authoritative. Again, you've set a list of IP address ranges, but we could consider anything that's link local to you, or if you're on a domain joined machine, The Active Directory sites and services can tell you whether something is work or not, and you can leverage that if you leave this in the auto-detect scenario. You might also want to have a way of storing that data without resorting to the user re-enrolling, right? If you get a device back, you might want to have a certificate, a DRA. And if you have EFS, you probably already have a data recovery agent certificate, and you would just issue it here. You do want to revoke access to data on unenroll. That was what I showed you earlier. We give you an option to turn that off. Say you're migrating between two MDM solutions. You might want to do that, but leave it in the default. I sometimes will change this so that I show in my demos those little brown briefcases. If you don't like seeing them, you can just leave this off. And then this is the part that I really like, is the Azure RMS for WIP. So I just click this to on, and that's how I get that USB protection that roams. Actually, you know, I never did do that demo of showing it actually working for somebody. Is there someone who's a Microsoft employee here that could maybe try to read a file off a USB stick? You? All right. Let me know if you can read that file. All right, and while I'm at it, I think that we're basically done. Oh, I also suggest that you keep the search indexer on, because if you don't do that, then Outlook can't search email. It's kind of annoying. All right, and that's it. That's how long it takes to set up 10 minutes with a bunch of blather, bad connection. I think you can afford the time. The SCCM configuration is also very similar. It's just in that very familiar gunmetal gray. Same settings. I can scroll through that list, and that's what it looks like. If you have SCCM 1802, then this is where we actually allow you to get off of SCCM. You slide this little toggle in the wizard down to the right, and now you've got Windows Information Protection, among other things. Were you able to access the file? Not yet? OK. Well, get back to me. So I've showed you how to set up a policy, but you actually have a lot of different options here. So let me talk through a few of them, because maybe you want to have a little guidance and advice about how to get started and then how to ramp up. I call this the quick start. If all you want is the selective wipe and you don't care to see all of those copy-paste errors, this is what you get. All your apps still work. There's no copy-paste block. SharePoint, OneDrive, and Outlook, all of those contents are encrypted on download. And you get this protection of the USB stick. At the same time, you also get to learn. I didn't get to show you that, but you can actually see which applications are being used with work data. You also get the audit. If you go and decrypt a file, it'll go into the audit log. And data gets revoked when you remove the account, either from the server side or on the client. How do you get that? OK. Take the recommended apps, good experience. The enforcement level is silent. And your network configuration is practically automatic. You get the SharePoint Online sites that are pre-populated for you. And if you have a lot of email address domains that are more than just your Azure tenant identity, you can add those. Include the recommended neutral sites. There's only 2 on the list. You can find those under aka.ms/whipdocs. It's under the recommended section on the left-hand side of the navigation. Turn Azure RMS protection on. You don't need a template. This will allow anyone in your tenant to be able to access that data. And for the rest of it, you can take defaults, with one caveat. If you have not deployed at least 1703, I would highly recommend you have a DRA, data recovery agent, because the user, when they turn it off and turn it on again, they will have a whole lot of revoked data that you'll need to restore for them. Another option, maybe you're past the point of doing just selective wipe and you want to at least have a little light enforcement on your users. What could you get? Selected apps do prompt for disclosure. They just, and the rest of them just work, right? More of your data will be auto-encrypted. The idea being you'll add your line of business applications and those and your LAN configurations so that when you're downloading from the local area network, it's getting protected. You get that default protection on the USB copy. You can still audit, as I said before. You can also additionally audit things like an upload to Edge to a non-corporate site. And you get to audit paste disclosures, which are not available under silent because there aren't any paste prompts. And of course, you get revoke. How do you configure that? I take all of the recommended apps and put those in your allowed list. And now you can add your line of business applications. You should explicitly deny social media apps. And then this is a bit of a trick. Deny the exemption to any of your allowed and denied applications. Exemption supersedes allow. So why would I do this? Because you're going to exempt everything else. I call this the exempt star configuration. I have a couple customers that do this. So they get that good experience, and they don't have to worry about app compat for the universe of applications they don't know about, and they're still getting the benefits of the copy-paste restrictions for Office, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can do an allow overrides. So if you're going that, there's the baby bear, this is the mama bear. For network, you take it as the quick start and then add your LAN configuration as I showed you. Turn on Azure RMS, and then again as the quick start for the rest of it. I'm going to add an optional item here. It might be that you don't want everything that you download from the local area network to be protected, and you could even dial that back by setting the file types that you want to encrypt, if there's only a few that you consider sensitive. Strict enforcement. There may be some of you that want this. This would be where only your applications can open work files and your corporate LAN locations, your cloud sites. Most of the data will be auto-encrypted. Basically, most of the files in the user's profile. You get encryption on USB, of course, and I suggest that you would configure this in SCCM because it would be on-prem likely. Allow the recommended apps plus your line of business apps, and then exempt only the things that you feel you need to for app compat reasons. Hide overrides, so this is the most strict you could get. You could also do it with allow overrides, depending on the group. The same network configuration that you used for light enforcement, Azure on, and everything else is the quick start. And then this is the juice. Because you're on-prem, you could deploy known folders redirection to OneDrive for Business. Everything that goes into OneDrive for Business gets protected. You drop it in the folder, it's automatically protected. All right, a few more last deployment tips, and then we'll probably have time for questions. Here are a few real-life lessons that we took when we deployed this at Microsoft. Do this gently. Start in rings. We do this in self-host where there's like the feature team. For you would be maybe the ITs in a pilot. And then choose some canaries, the next ring out that are representative of the departments that you want to roll out to. This lets you experiment with your policy, right? When you go home and you start your first ring, which is you and your personal or your one work machine, you can goof around in that policy. When you feel comfortable with it, spread it around. Also, you can, like I showed you, use that silent approach to just get started because it's very gentle. You can learn and grow as necessary to add more enforcement over time. I also highly recommend that you deploy conditional access. You want to have some way of forcing people to actually have this policy on their machine before they get access to your data. This also helps mitigate third-party browsers, I didn't show this, but one of those highlighted tips in Intune is you should add AppCompat. Without AppCompat, any TLS connection from an unallowed application will be refused because the firewall doesn't usually have enough information to decide and will fail on the secure side. AppCompat lets you fail on the permissive side, so those applications like, I don't know, your favorite browser that isn't allowed access needs to still be able to, say, search Google Chrome, or maybe you want to go to even a news site that uses TLS. You want that to work. So with conditional access, we can actually restrict that from getting to, say, SharePoint, because we're just not going to serve up a token to the unallowed application. OneDrive for Business. Like I just talked about in the strict enforcement, you can use that folder redirection to have a stricter enforcement because more of your data will be automatically protected. Everything in OneDrive for Business gets protected. You probably also want to audit this. Many of you are going to have a security information and event monitoring system, or SIEM. So set up Windows Event Forwarding for the WIP audit events. You can also use this trick with Azure Log Analytics, or OMS. All right, so we did who, we did why, we did what, we did how, now we're up to when. When you get home, I want you to be able to look at your auditor in the eye and say, yes, I took commercially reasonable efforts to protect my data, and I think it's worth the 2 minutes to get started. So get started protecting your data right away. Turn on a basic policy at least, then set up some groups, make your deployment rings, and start getting that data protected. I want you to also know that there's lots of resources for getting this done, right? There's Fast Track, there's the Customer Acceleration Team for larger companies, you've got a TSP probably, consulting services, there's your technical account manager for many of your larger companies, the ATS, your account technology strategist. I'm new to Twitter, so be gentle, okay? But I put my Twitter handle up there as well. And that's how we can work together to have trust and finish your ride in a success elevator together. There are a number of related sessions on MIP. We all got together on a Friday morning, and I really appreciate your time. I hope you can give me a good evaluation. And if it isn't, well, okay, I might be looking for another job. So give me a good evaluation. All right, and we're ready for questions, I think.
Sorry, I have one just on file formats. So, hello?
I'm looking for you. There you are.
How you doing? I promise I'm not a Microsoft shill. So you had a slide earlier on, and it had the various different apps that were enlightened. Visio and Project weren't on it. Is it to do, are they not included, or they didn't fit on the slide?
They are actually not included. Okay. So there is, we started off with the biggest apps that you could. For now, Office is saying that the ideal approach for that is just to exempt them. And those files are probably coming in through OneDrive for Business anyway. So that's the story right now. There is an initiative, though, to meet that customer promise for more applications. And so over time, I do expect that they will get enlightened, but I don't have a timeline for you right now.
That's a related question. Is the protection file format related or application related? So does it work in the web versions, and what if your PDF is not associated with, if it's associated with Acrobat, which is a very common scenario? Right.
It's application based. So we don't protect based off of the file format, we protect off of the context. Where did it come from? And potentially whether it was labeled or not. So I think labels are currently in the main suite. I don't think that they've been applied to Visio, et cetera. But if they were there, then it would be applied as, that way as well. But I think that probably what you're going to want to do right now is to rely on OneDrive for Business being that place where those Visio files are coming from and have it protected there. And you can use exempt for that. I would caution against doing the allow. You may run into AppCompat issues because those older apps don't know what to not protect.
And again, so you say OneDrive for Business. I presume that includes SharePoint Online.
Yes, it does.
Okay,
SharePoint Online is actually the backing store for OneDrive for Business.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Over here?
So if I understood correctly, if I have an unenlightened app and it saves off, say, a binary file or even a text-based file, I can set up the protection so those files get encrypted, right? Even if they're not like Word or Excel, just straight binary or...
Sorry, repeat the question about the offline part.
So, well, no, I mean, if I have an unencrypted app and it saves a file to the disk and it's binary or text, non-Microsoft, I can have it protect all those. It doesn't matter if it's a Microsoft document or not. It can be any kind of document.
Yeah, the protection can be applied to anything.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Can the labels as well?
Labels are restricted to, at this point, enlightened applications, which, and by enlightened I mean MIP aware.
Okay.
Which is the main Office suite, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. I'm not sure about OneNote, but definitely Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook are label aware. The Windows versions of those are going to be in preview by the end of the year. In the meantime, what you do is use the AIP plugin to classify your documents.
Okay, and then the one last thing is there a way to prevent say a protected document that is in a specific location or labeled somehow from going to Office 365? So it has to stay on a work system. Purpose being, like, if I have PCI data, credit card data in a file, I label that as work data. I want it encrypted. I want it labeled. I want it to not go to a SharePoint or OneDrive because I want it to stay on my on-prem.
That's an interesting scenario. You'd effectively have to say that that's not a work location in order to prevent it from going there, which would be a little weird, honestly.
Because it would affect everything and not just that.
But I think that you might want to look at the Office Information Protection DLP scenarios, where they can do things like scan a document in an email or on SharePoint and apply new rules to it. So they might be able to do something for you where if it hits that threshold number of credit card numbers or social security numbers or whatever, you can set up these rules to be custom, but there's also a number of pre-canned rules, and they can do things like apply an RMS template. So then only the people that are allowed to access that template could access that data, even though it's in SharePoint.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Over here.
I have a question about conditional access policies.
Okay, I'm not a super expert on conditional access, but I'll try.
It's in combination with Windows Information Protection. So
yes, it is.
Conditional access policy in place, targeting users, and the setting requires a device to be compliant.
Correct.
These users have laptops, but some of them might want to work home on their own device as well.
Okay.
But because of the conditional access requiring a device to be compliant, I cannot use Windows Information Protection on unmanaged devices.
Okay. I actually want to solve that scenario. We're not quite there yet, but I think it's possible. If you don't mind waiting a couple of minutes, I'd like to get your contact info because I want to use that as part of the discussion with my partners around the priority of that scenario. It should be possible, but it's not right now. And I'm just going to say sorry, but I think we need to probably loop back with you.
Great, I'll wait.
Okay. Over here?
Oh.
No, he's pointing to you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. One of the things that's I'd be interested in is cloud app security and engine. There was a big informational release about exact match, the exact data match service. It's my understanding that the engines that evaluate the DLP have traditionally been different for AIP and the cloud app security module. Is that correct? Are those engines still different, or will they consolidate to this exact data match engine so that you can have one set of DLP data to scan and match again and trigger policies?
I'm going to be very honest with you. I just don't know. I'm not an expert on the MCAS side of things. The extent that I've talked to the MCAS people is that I'd like to learn about what cloud applications are being allowed so that we can maybe automatically put it in the policy someday. But I actually don't know how they're doing their technology.
Just a quick follow-up. So you understand that what I'm talking about, that there's there's this whole side of the proxy world where you're trying to get into that flow and read DLP to cut it there. And then the way that this plays is it's trying to play off the device based on enlightened applications and things like that. The world my organization has went down is we've used a third-party vendor for a lot of years, and the integration is just horrible. But we have those products. We have DLP, we have a proxy solution, and now we've implemented a CASB to get in front of all this data. And there is this massive fight happening with it. And some of the questions that I have with it are answered with this presentation, but I still see some conflict in Microsoft. And the big problem is how does this get ahead of SaaS? Like, I would love to switch from my third-party solution to something that Microsoft is putting at an API level around the system to get in the front of things instead of a kludgy third party. But I have to have that whole story make sense to me, and SaaS is a big part of everybody's lives now. You know, it's not just Word and Outlook that I have to protect against. It's other requests from the organization with SaaS applications. How do I get ahead of those other than always use a Word document that has this encryption on it?
Okay, I think this is great feedback. The good of Microsoft is that we have a lot of technologies. The bad is that we have a lot of technologies, right? And trying to put them together is one of those things that we try to make that seamless. We don't always get there, but we're always on that journey together. So I think probably we should follow up and see what we can do, because I probably need to sync up with my MCAS counterpart.
I've got to understand that side so you can consolidate.
Yeah. Boy, you got some good questions today. Go ahead.
Hi. Do you ever see WIP being used in terms of segmentation instead of like a corporate and personal profile on the same device, separating development from production on the same device?
Ooh, so honestly, we don't really optimize for the developer scenario. You can imagine that when we are developing a new application, we don't know about it in the policy side right away. So it's kind of impossible to add it, right? The thing to do there would probably be to do that star exempt light enforcement mechanism at best. I know that I actually exempt my developers from policy because of that. Maybe we can have a better story in the future, but yeah, right now I wouldn't put that burden on someone who has to make an application run.
So it's still separate devices, one for development, one for production.
Yeah, at least that's what we've been doing.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, I think that's it. Thanks very much, everyone.